That was Ever Braver, Ever Stronger, a piece of music on the Phat Pack album, released in 2006 when I was 13 years old. That piece is very special to me. I listened to it maybe every day for a couple of years when it first came out. I just thought it was absolutely beautiful, so I thought I'd just bring together some of my thoughts. It's been a few days since I heard that Gordon had unfortunately passed away, and I didn't really know how to deal with it or process it in my own mind, so I figured I'd just sit in front of the camera and reflect a little on my experience of the man. I guess let's start at the beginning. 1997, my mother and father started a big band in Bristol. It was a community band. It still runs today. I have two sisters, and when we were kids, we just spent our entire lives around this kind of music. Went to all the rehearsals, went to all their concerts, and it's very special memories for me. In 2001, the drummer in the band came into the rehearsal with a copy of Swinging for the Fences and a chart for Count Bubba. No one had heard of the Big Phat Band, but from the moment that they all heard this track, they were all hooked, and it was kind of the talk of the town. All of a sudden, we had all the charts. Sing Sang Sung, Samba del Gringo, Count Bubba, all of the greats. I don't know, it felt like it was on all the time. We had it on in the car when we were driving. I think the family's favourites were Bach Part 2 Invention and Mozart's 40th in G minor. My sister is a clarinet player, so she loved listening to Eddie Daniels play that stuff. A Few Good Men would be on every day at home on the CD player. We'd just go, play A Few Good Men. We'd be dancing around the house. That's just brilliant. It made us all so happy, and it brought us closer together as a family, for sure. When I was 10 years old, I went to boarding school, and I was staying in a room with 7 or 8 boys. And our prefect would come in every morning to try and wake us all up to start the day. And his tactic was to come into the room, whack play on the CD player, and we all heard this. Yeah. If you know, you know. Nuevo Los Suetos. The soundtrack to every morning at boarding school. Up and start just jumping around the room, just so excited, and it was just the best way to wake up to start our day. Good memories. Another amazing thing that Gordon's music did for me was it introduced me to my trumpet hero, Wayne Bergeron. When I turned 18, Wayne and I had been in some contact. He invited me out to see him in LA, and I went out with a broken ankle. On that trip, Wayne took me to a teppanyaki restaurant as a surprise, and I think it was Gordon's birthday. I was sat next to Larry Hall and Wayne. There was a bunch of great guys there, but I got an opportunity to meet Gordon and to speak to him for the first time. Now, this is like meeting my all-time celebrity hero. It was awesome. I'll never forget that meal. So a few years later, I got a call off Wayne to go and fill in for him on a European tour of the Big Phat Band. I was 23 years old. I just left college. The tour was awesome. I met all the guys. I got to meet Andy Martin and Sal Lozano and all the chaps in the band. It was an amazing trip. And we finished the tour off in Prague. Beautiful room, probably one of my favourites I've ever played in. There were 2 moments in that gig that stick with me in particular. So we played Rhapsody in Blue and the Buddy Complex. And at the end of the Buddy Complex with those ba 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 ba. Remember watching Gordon just ga 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 ga. You just felt invincible in that chair with Gordon there. That energy, that leadership, extraordinary. Just so inspiring, and it's taught me so much about how to run a band. And the last time I got to see Gordon was in January 2020, just before the pandemic. I was in LA with Callum Au. We went to a beautiful restaurant with Gordon and Vanjie, and it was particularly special for me, that trip to that restaurant, because I had 2 of my very favourite people in the room, both absolutely at the top of their game. And to witness those 2 talk about music the way that they did was really very extraordinary. Just, the guys were on a different level. Yeah, that was the last time I got to see Gordon. I think when I became a parent, I got a whole new perspective on life, like many of us do. It's only really now that I see just how profound Gordon's influence was on my life, my family's life. He was really the rock star for all of us. I'd say that he went as far as totally revitalizing the big band genre. So I just wanted to end with some thank yous directly to Gordon for a few things. To begin with, thank you for shaping my identity, particularly as a musician. Thank you for giving me something to aspire to. From about 12 years old, I heard Gordon's band, I heard Gordon's music, I heard Wayne Bergeron, and I heard big band music. And from that point, it was pretty obvious I was just going to play trumpet. Thank you for writing music that became part of my family's story. It'll be something that I share with my family forever. They are all huge fans of yours. My mum, yeah, she loves your music more than you'll ever know. I will be praying for Vanji and your family during this very, very difficult time. I speak for many people in my generation. The music world would not be what it is today without your input. So thank you. We will do our very best to carry on what you started.